Okay, back to my 2001 Dodge Cummins Diesel 2500. I'm replacing the motor on the window in the passenger side. There's the new motor, and my first step is to pop this door panel off. To pop this panel off, you're going to have to remove a screw up here on this triangle piece, and then you'll go along and very easily you'll just pull back on this panel and it pops off. The only thing you really have to worry about is the switches are wired in, and then this door handle is kind of in the way. You've kind of got to slide it past there. Also, you'll have some screws that you have to take out in this little tray handle right here. You have to take those out. Okay, so popping the door panel off is not bad. It's got these little yellow keepers here that basically go in the holes on the door, and they just pull out, and you can tell that one, you can see it, it's all wore out. So I'll probably order some more of those and put them in. That way, you know, it stays on. Also, you have to disconnect these wires that go to your power windows. So that's what I'm going to do next. You have this plastic on this door panel, and it basically serves as like a dust barrier for everything back here. You know, dust can get up in there and blow into your truck, so it kind of serves as a dust barrier. So I'm going to hang on to that plastic. I'm going to peel it back and probably use some kind of spray adhesive or something to stick it back on there once I get it all cleaned up. Now, when you're removing these screws, you're going to have to be very, very careful with your window because it's going to want to fall. So support it, block it up, whatever you need to do to keep it from falling down there and breaking, because you do not want that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these nuts right here, get my window loose, that way it frees up, and then I'll remove my motor. So what I'm going to try to do after I've got the screws removed from the window is pull this trim off the top and make it a little bit better access to pull the window out through here. And I'm going to try to completely pull that window out while I install the new motor. When I'm doing a project like this, I always make sure that I know exactly how something looked as it came out, so that when you put it back in, you'll know exactly how to put it back in. If pictures help, I'll take pictures sometimes. Now, when you're taking these screws off, you can loosen these in two spots, right here and right here, and then you can lift this motor out through that hole, which is what I'm going to do right now. And then I'll put those studs back in the new motor and slide them back in. That way it's sitting in place. Okay, the old motor's loose. I was going to show you have 6 total bolts to remove. Alright, you'll have one here that's kind of below the lock, and then go straight over. That's number 2. Then under the door handle you'll have number 3, and then the studs I was talking about, 4 and 5, and then right here 6. You'll remove all those, your motor will fall down in here, and I think the best place to pull it out is going to be this big hole over here on the right. So I've got my motor started to working out this hole. It looks like it's going to come out really easy, but go over here and disconnect your window motor right here. Just unplugs. It's got a little keeper on the back. You just slide it out and unplug it just like that, and then you'll be able to slide this all the way out the same side, and you can put it in the same way you brought it out. Alright, motor slid right back in that hole. I've got all my bolts started back in there in the right spot, but as you'll see, my motor is not in the same place my old motor was. You can't see the track in here, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put my door panel back over here, plug it back in, and then let my window down enough to where you can see the tracks in here and reattach my window. Okay, so I put my window back in, slid it down real carefully, and then all it's held on by is these 2 nuts on each side that we took off earlier. And so now it's ready to go. I just got to plug my electricity back in and test it. I'm not going to put the door panel back on because I'm going to replace these speakers later, so I'm going to leave it off. But I'm going to go ahead and test it now. Okay, so the new window worked perfectly. I'm going to tighten up all the bolts and I should be good to go after that.